Hi, this is Zach here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 19th of September. Starting off with the S&P as usual, and here you can see we're right in the middle of the rising trend channel there from April. Top of the channel there heading for 67.75, which is nominally what we're looking for by the end of next month. Obviously, the way things are going, we could get there a bit sooner than that. In terms of support, 65.40 was the old initial September resistance, and that's been tested on the previous session on Wednesday, and that looks as though that will hold at least for the near term while we try and probe to the upside. There is a rug pulled on the floor of the channel there, 6,400. It looks as though that would be the worst case scenario at the moment if we did break back below 65.40. The Nasdaq 100 is next, and here the picture is of a market which is stretching up to the top of that rising trend channel from back in April. The level there currently 25,000, so we're looking at that hopefully by the end of this month. The next level up is 26,000, and looking for that by the end of next month, which is a resistance line projection from the end of January. On the downside now, expecting that there won't be anything lower than 24,000. Ideally, worst case is that we have to test the floor of the channel there, 23,300, but at the moment it looks as though we are heading north rather than south, especially given the way that we had an unfilled gap to the upside yesterday. Moving on to the stocks and starting off with Adaptimmune, and here we can see that we've got this hopefully bottoming out formation with the situation sort of U-shaped turnaround there. In fact, it's a bear trap hard reversal because we gapped down back in July and gapped up earlier this month above the 50-day line there, looking for decent progress for this stock as high as 25 cents perhaps by the end of this month. Best case, up to 35 cents by the end of next month, which is the 200-day moving average and the old July peak. Ideally, we stay on the right side of the 12 pence area, 12 cents area rather, whatever happens, which is that 50-day line. Moving along to Aeries technology, and here we've had a brief break of the floor of that rising trend channel base there around the 72 cents level. That's just below the 200-day line at 76 cents, but the ideal scenario here is that we stay above 76 cents and head up to the top of the range and the top of that channel as high as $1.65 by the end of next month. Decent bullish divergence there as well, so lower lows for September, but two are higher RSI traces, so that looks as though that could be a turnaround situation. We've looked at AquaBounty before, and we're looking at it again now. It looks like it's fulfilling our dreams of heading up towards the $1.60 level, the top of that rising trend channel base. We're looking for that in coming days. In fact, we're probably looking now for 180 plus by the end of this month, at least while we remain above the support of yesterday's session around $1.32 on an end of day close basis, obviously. Moving on to another situation, American Battery, and here it looks as though we've got a stock which is quite keen on the uptrend that we're seeing within that rising trend channel from December. Top of the channel there, up to $4.50, which I suppose we're looking for by the end of next month, while we remain above the 50-day line there, $2.43. Ideally, we'd stay on the right side, probably of the 260, 270 area, ahead of a move to the upside. We see the return of this following stock, which is Cardylytics, and here broadening triangle base, top of the triangle there, heading for $4, which I suppose we're hoping for by the end of next month, especially while we remain above on the right side of the 200-day line there, $2.24. But hopefully this situation will now give us the push higher that we've been looking for quite some time, or ongoing push higher. Next on the list is Laser, and here another broadening triangle, and here gapping through the 200-day line there at $3.11 rather, and above that looking for the top of that triangle there as high as $8.50 by the end of next month. The rising 50-day line helping us as is the gap through that 200-day feature. Another situation which is probably worth keeping an eye on at the moment is Intellia, and here proper rising trend channel base based at the 50-day line there around the $11.77 level. Above that, looking for the top of the channel there, as high as $21 by the end of next month. Ideally, stay on the right side of $14.60, which was the old July peak on an end of day close basis. Nice RSI 50 rebounds that we've had over the last few weeks. On to the last three. The first one coming up in the form of Psyence Biomedical, and here you can see that the situation is in a broadening triangle base. Top of the triangle there, nominally at the 200-day line level, which is $7.70. We're looking for that while we remain above the 50-day moving average at $4.43 on an end-of-day close basis. Nice bounce for the RSI above neutral 50, so hopefully with that gap as well, we are on our way to the upside. We move to Qualigen, and here the situation is looks quite dynamic in the sense that we've had this gap through the 50-day line. 50-day line there at $2.27, and above that, looking for at least the top of the recent range around $3.65. Hopefully in coming days. So hopefully by the end of this month, you can see we've also had an RSI 50 rebound, and looks very strong indeed in terms of turnaround with that sort of W-shaped reversal that is in place on the daily chart. So above that 50-day line, looking good for Qualigen. Finishing off, hopefully in style, with Rocky Mountain, and here we've got a rising trend channel base, top of the channel there, heading for $2.90. Looking for that by the end of next month, especially while we remain above recent support towards the $1.80 level, so just below yesterday's support zone. RSI 50 plus rebound as well, so looking quite strong there in terms of pushing to the upside, especially when you add in the failed gap fill that we had back on Wednesday. That tends to be a bullish sign over and above the RSI rebound above the neutral level. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.